Pay attention, you bastards.
So if you have not heard, Sean Kingston and his mama was just convicted for wire fraud.
Face charges in what prosecutors are calling a $1 million scheme. Local 10's Andrew Perez is joining us. He's in Fort Lauderdale with the very latest.
So Sean Kingston chose not to testify. His own attorney, though, painting him as a kid who spends too much money, a kid who isn't even aware of how much money he has, of how all of that works, and that his mother is a protective mother. They're insisting right now that what happened here were civil disagreements and not an intention to defraud.
Just a few days ago, they were found guilty on all charges. All charges. And I'm telling you, they're saying that this is holding a sentence of 20 years. 20 years. Because you want to sit there and be on some fraud. That's what you want to do. You want to be on some fraud. It's holding about 20 years for you and your mom. So I believe the jury found him guilty on 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and 4 counts of wire fraud. Him and his mom both was pretty much buying luxury goods, bags. You're talking about cars. You're talking about houses. And pretty much sending the money, but sending like bogus checks and, the money not being in the accounts. You know what I'm saying? But he running off with their stuff. You know what I'm saying? But that's what happens when you don't know how to bounce back from your win. A lot of people, they be in the music industry or any industry. They're winning and they're the top of their career and they winning, right? But they feel like they can ride that wave and they don't gotta put other stuff out or they don't gotta, reinvent themselves. A lot of people do that. That's very normal to win at a high level for a long time and then get so comfortable where you don't reinvent yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it seems like he did. But my thing is like, I feel like your mom should have pulled you to the side and been like, look, like, we need to figure something out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already had the momentum. So all you got to do is recreate that or, find a different lane. To me, if you on fire the way he was on fire, it's not that hard to really bounce back. Especially you ain't on drugs, you ain't, in a bogus position like that. You got, like you still Sean Kingston. You still could make music, you still could collab with artists, you still could, do content, you still could, take some of the money you made and invest in other businesses. But people be wanting to live that lifestyle still without having the money. It's an unfortunate situation, but that's how it be sometimes. So after everything, I believe they took his mom and they holding his mom. You know what I'm saying? So Sean Kingston just went on, I think they got him doing, he's on house arrest. He's doing house arrest, but he got to put up like $500,000 home and like $200,000 in like cash. But man, they holding his mom, you know what I'm saying? And he just on the house arrest, but they supposed to do the trial the beginning of July, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, man, that's what happens, man. That's what happens when you don't know how to bounce back, man. So we gotta leave that. We gotta leave any illegal activity. You know what I'm saying? Leave it alone. You know what I mean? Like, it's so many ways to get out here and get money. I understand getting that type of money is not easy to come by. Sean Kingston was making millions, so I could imagine like he probably like, man, I gotta find something. You know what I'm saying? But it's things to do out here, man. You gotta just focus, bro, and you gotta just, set your mind to something. You know what I'm saying? You've already, again, Sean Kingston already accomplished a lot. That's why it's so crazy to me, because it's like, bro, like, you've already accomplished so much with the music. You know what I mean? All you gotta do is just reinvent yourself. But I'm hoping he could bounce back from it. It's gonna be a sad story if they take a minute. He had to sit down and do some real time. As far as his mom, I'm not sure exactly what's gonna happen with her. I'm sure they're gonna let her out and she gonna have a bond. But it's an unfortunate situation, and it's super unfortunate because the mom is like on the same mentality as him doing the fraud. It's like you would think that the mom would be like, nah, like, we got to do this. You know what I'm saying? We got to go and invest in real estate. You know what I'm saying? We got to go and, invest in Bitcoin, do some stocks, like start us some. I'm sure they got some type of businesses. And if all of that, if after all of that, they don't got no type of legitimate businesses, they both crazy. You know what I'm saying? If ain't nobody in their campus saying, yo, like, let's take some of the money. I know it's something left. Let's take some of the money and put it into this. You know what I mean? And you could still make a lot of money flipping houses. You could still make a lot of money, you know, owning laundromats or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? Investing in content. You could make a lot of money doing something. So for them to do this is crazy to me. But you know, man, I hope they could bounce back from it. But man, as always, man, I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. Man, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one.